This is a copy of Donkey Kong Country Exposed that's been sealed since 1994. It was a behind-the-scenes VHS that was sent to Nintendo Power subscribers to build hype for one of my all-time favorite games. I love getting my hands on any making of or behind-the-scenes content from the games industry, whether it was meant to be played in a store or bundled with a collector's edition. I've wanted this in the collection for years, but it's been a challenge to find a copy that's in good shape because, these were owned by kids, and this tape, like me, is now over 30 years old. I know some people might think I should keep this sealed, but I think of the items in my collection as meant to be enjoyed, not just stared at. If I buy something sealed like this, it's because I want it in the best shape possible, not for resale value. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing gloves here, it's because old VHSs can develop mold depending on how they're stored over the years. And because this is sealed, I have no idea what I'm getting into. But it looks like I lucked out with this one, and it looks better than I could have hoped for. I had no idea this existed as a kid, and there are a few things I'm more nostalgic for than the DKC 3D visuals like in this foldout. Opening this piece of gaming history and popping it in the VCR felt like recreating a memory that I never had. It's such a time capsule of the early 90s play it loud era of Nintendo, with quick cuts, effects slapped all over the place, and very much at the height of the Sega Nintendo trash talking. It's hosted by comedian Josh Wolf.
Music on a CD. Something that's big in Japan for many, many years is game music on CD. Hasn't been a big hit in America because maybe the music hasn't been quite up to what you hear on the radio every daytime. You're kind of losing it, dude.
And even though it's scripted and through a goofy lens, we really don't get a ton of behind-the-scenes content from this era of the video game industry. It's a really rare look at some of the people at Nintendo of America supporting the development of the game over at Rare in the UK. On that point, it is worth saying that this isn't a tour of Rare proper, where the game was developed. But we do get to see some legends of the industry like Ken Lobb, who would go on to work on games like Killer Instinct and GoldenEye. We also get to hear from Tim Stamper, co-founder of Rare, even if it is just a voice over the phone.
We have a zoo about 2 miles away.
You went to the zoo.
The zoo, yeah.
The most interesting bit of info that we get from this is how they got that signature 3D look for the sprites. Rare actually used the same Silicon Graphics computers used in Jurassic Park. They would fully model, texture, and animate a character in 3D, only the Super Nintendo can't render the final full motion video, so they compressed every frame of the 3D animation into a 16-bit sprite. And just like that, you get the illusion of a fully 3D character on the Super Nintendo without using something like a Super FX chip. If you want to crack open a cold one and take a trip back to 1994, I'm a little too nervous to upload it in its entirety, but it's really not that hard to find.